Nicola Sturgeon has emboldened yes voters in Scotland with her plan to take the country out of the UK. Would Nicola Sturgeon win if there was a referendum tomorrow? Boris Johnson is facing up to the prospect of unwillingly having to let Nicola Sturgeon conduct another Scottish independence referendum. In an interview with Andrew Marr on Sunday, the 4th of October, the Prime Minister seemed to perform a U-turn on his January promise that no vote on Scotland leaving the Union would take place anytime soon. Mr Johnson refused to rule out granting another vote to the SNP if the party wins big at the next Holyrood election. Repeatedly asked by Andrew Marr whether he would allow the SNP its wish if they took a large majority at the 2021 elections, Mr Johnson responded, "What I would say is that, as we have been saying throughout this conversation, this country has a big job of building back better from coronavirus. I don't think this is the time, quite frankly, for us to have another referendum. We had a referendum in 2014, managing to also misname Scotland's governing party, which makes up the third largest political group in the House of Commons." Mr Johnson said, "We were told it was a once-in-a-generation event by the leaders of the Scottish Nationalist Party. 6 years doesn't seem to me as a generation." Nicola Sturgeon asked Mr Johnson earlier this year to transfer the powers necessary to hold another referendum. In a letter, Mr Johnson rejected the plea, writing that he cannot agree to any request for a transfer of power that would lead to any further independence referendums. In 2014, Scotland voted 55.3% to stay in the UK. Would independence win a referendum vote? If a Scottish independence referendum went ahead tomorrow, according to the most recent polls, Scotland would be leaving the Union with a hefty majority. Support for Scottish independence has been on the rise throughout the coronavirus crisis, with every opinion poll conducted throughout the summer period indicating a strong desire for Scots to leave the Union. Support also reached its highest ever level in August, with yes leading by 53% to 47%. Support for the SNP among Scots remains high, with the September poll indicating a huge lead for SNP at the upcoming election, currently polling at 53% voting intention. The resurgence of the desire to leave the Union has come alongside the SNP taking a markedly different approach to tackling the ongoing coronavirus crisis, and a considerable dislike for the Prime Minister north of the border. Naturally, such a lead has emboldened Ms Sturgeon's party, who has revived plans for a potential second independence referendum ahead of the Holyrood election. SNP Deputy Leader, Keith Brown, said, "This is yet another significant poll for the SNP in the independence movement, showing people want decisions about Scotland to be made by the people who live here, and not Boris Johnson. The rising and unsustainable cost to Scotland's future of a Tory government people here didn't vote for has never been clearer. Faced with the increasing threat of a hard or no deal Brexit, and an unprecedented power grab on the hard-won powers of the Scottish Parliament, it's no wonder people in Scotland are demanding the right to choose a better future. With Westminster in chaos, and Boris Johnson in Downing Street, an independent, progressive Scotland in Europe is becoming the settled will of the people of Scotland. Boris Johnson's undemocratic attempt to deny the people of Scotland the right to choose their own future is now utterly unsustainable.